Good afternoon and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you. And as always, we want to thank BTC Fiber for hosting our program. And you can see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's cable channel 18. And we want to thank our sponsors, Embers Ice Cream of Pikeville, Nickel Roll Antiques of Pikeville, and also White Wagon Bed and Breakfast of Pikeville. And today we have with us Coach Rusty McIntyre, Sequatchie County High School's head football coach. And Coach, it's good to have you today, and thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, glad to be here.
First of all, I know this is your second year here, so give us a little background on you. A lot of people may not know your background.
I've been back and forth between Tennessee and Alabama. I'm born in Decatur, Alabama. Went to college UAB, came back and coached at my alma mater my first couple of years at Decatur High School. Then I moved up to Knoxville, Tennessee, and coached at Knox West for a few years, and then went back home to Alabama for, I guess, 3 or 4 more years before I ended up at Cleveland and Fayetteville, and now I'm here. So I've kind of bounced around between East Tennessee and North Alabama.
Well, it's kept you hopping, hasn't it?
It has. My wife and kids are definitely ready to settle, and they're tired of moving around, and I understand. So hopefully we're here for a while.
Well, good. I hope you are too, because I know about all that moving around. It's for the birds.
It is. It gets rough.
Well, I know when I was talking to the quarterback club, y'all have the opportunity this year. You have new uniforms and what's the look like this year as far as the uniforms and stuff?
Well, it's we're still trying to do a lot of the traditional stuff. We've went back to the spear. Going to go back to the gold helmets, and then we're going to try something a little new. We've got a Vegas gold jersey and some Vegas gold pants. So we got quite a few combinations, and that's what we're really excited about. So hopefully, we look good. We better play good. So I hope it works out. But we got a lot of variety, but it's your traditional Sequatchie County stuff.
Well, good. I know a lot of people in times past have fussed about different styles. I said, let's just go back to the old way. So that's good that you're going that way. Now, I know the program couldn't do really a whole lot without the quarterback club's help.
No, I don't know where I would be right now and how much they help me and how smooth they keep things going. Sue Ann's been great to work with, and I know she's got a lot of help. So, they've been a blessing for me so far as a first-time head coach, my second year. So they've really helped me a lot, and I appreciate them.
Well, I know they do a lot of things. They have their shirt shack and other things they do, and to help just the football program itself. So they do a good job.
They do a lot.
And I appreciate them. Now, as far as numbers of players, how's that going for you this year?
Our numbers are up. We're 57 kids right now. We finished last season with 44, and we graduated 14 seniors.
Wow.
So, just returning 30 kids that played last year. So we've had a lot of new interest this year, and we're up to 57 right now. So I hope we can continue to build on that number. But I'm pleased from year 1 to year 2 with the increase in interest.
Well, I know the middle school program, they've been successful the past few years, and they've got a good program going on, and they've had a lot turn out, and they've got a big group this year. And so I'm sure that's helping you as you have a program that feeds into your program.
It helps a lot. Coach Faulkner does a really good job down there, and it helps that there's a lot of talent in those groups as well. So I know this upcoming freshman group for us is really deep, and you'll see a lot of them playing this year on Friday. I have a son that's a 7th grader, and he's on the team, so I go watch them and keep an eye on them, and they got some more talent coming up. So our middle school program's in good shape, good hands with Coach Faulkner.
Oh, I think so. He does a good job with that program, and I've seen great things, and I know it helps a high school program when you have a good feeder program.
It does. Last year I got the job so late. It was I told Coach Faulkner, y'all just do what you've been doing. I want y'all to have success. And then this year, after being here a while, they're trying to do some of the same things that we're doing at the high school level, which will help, when kids get here with terminology not being new, and they've done the things that we're trying to do in the high school on offense and defense. So he's been good to work with, and I look forward to working with him for several years.
Well, good. And I know we've also had a good a youth group that we have. That a lot of kids play youth football, and that goes on into the middle school, and it always helps to have those feeder programs.
Oh, it does. I hear a lot about the youth league and things that go on down there. So I'm just thankful that the community is invested in it and cares about it, and there's guys out there willing to put in the time to help those kids develop their love of football. It's kind of hard to teach little kids a lot of the X's and O's and techniques. Right. We just want to teach them to love the game, and I think those guys do a good job with that.
Well, good. That helps a lot. Now, anything new as far as your coaching staff? Do you still have the same from last year? Anything new?
No, we have one new coach, B.J. Armstrong. He'll be our defensive coordinator, and he's done our strength and conditioning program throughout the summer. So he's not new to the area, but he's new to our staff this year.
Well, I know with the heat, because I've been thinking about this summer. It's been extremely hot, so I know you try to do your workouts in the summer early in the morning and late at evening, but it's still hot.
It is, and it's early in the morning is the best route to go. But we have several coaches that work, run their own business, do things like that. So when we got after the dead period and we tried to put the workouts in the afternoon, we dealt with the heat a little bit more. But our kids have handled it well, coaches have handled it well, and it hasn't been too much of a problem.
Well, that's good, because I know a lot of programs in the past, you hear all the horror stories of players who actually died from overheating, or maybe they had a health condition they weren't aware of in the heat.
Yeah, TSSAA, they've implemented a lot of policies and things that's changed over the past several years that, as long as you adhere to those policies, we can protect our kids pretty well.
Well, good. Now, I know coming up we have this jamboree, and I know a lot of people are excited. We're going to see a lot of different players play, and just to get the experience. Yeah,
last year was my first taste of the jamboree, and it was a big event. It was a little different than what I expected coming in, and saw the community support and how excited people were about it. So we're fortunate enough to be able to have it here again this year, and I look forward to a lot of teams. We got one new team coming in, but people coming into our community and viewing our facilities and just getting a chance to kind of get one last scrimmage in before it starts the real deal next week.
And I know with last year being the first year with the AstroTurf here, and a lot of changes that went on here just in their field, and that probably brought a lot of interest from people, didn't it?
It did. I can't think of very many public schools that have the facilities that we have here, between the turf field and the indoor facility that we have. So we're very fortunate that we get to enjoy those things. So it was a lot of excitement in the community, and people wanted to see what it was all about, because it's the first in this area that I'm aware of. I know there's some places over in Chattanooga that have it, but as far as a public school, there's not many around. The closest one, I guess, would be Cleveland or Ray or somewhere like that has one. So we're very fortunate to be able to have the things that we get to enjoy and our kids get to practice on every day.
Well, I know we're sitting here in the weight room, and I know a lot of this equipment was bought years ago, and then some is new. But when you look at what all is in here, just that's beats a lot of the old programs. Probably when you grew up, you didn't have a weight room like this, did you?
Yes, sir. We've been fortunate. You probably know the stories, how they've added on to the field house several times. So now, to have the space. We talk about having 57 kids on the team, and that's all great, but you got to have the space to get all those kids work. So we're very fortunate to be able to have the ability to get our kids in here and get after it, work hard, and have a good workout, and enjoy the things that we have. And going back to the quarterback club, if there's something that we need for the program and for our kids, they do a really good job of getting that and securing it quickly. So I've been blessed since I've been here, and these kids, whether they know it or not, they're blessed. They have a lot of things that a lot of places would like to have.
Right, and I know, going back to the quarterback club, of course, when I announce the games, the quarterback club always has the people who sponsor the meals and other things that people sponsor, and it just amazes me the number of people that sponsor meals and for the team, the cheerleaders, the band. I mean, you know, and sometimes that's not really cheap.
No, it's not. Again, you know, how the economy is, especially these days, we've been just overwhelmed with the people that, you know, want to sponsor things or want to provide fundraising opportunities or provide meals. You know, the local churches, the local restaurants, local businesses, you know, everybody supports. And again, unless you've been a bunch of different places, it's kind of hard to understand how fortunate that is. You know, just the willingness of people outside the program to want to give back to the kids and have a better experience for the kids, better things, facilities, all that it's very refreshing, you know, because this community seems to be very much on board with the kids, and they like their football too, but they do it for everything for our school. You know, from the things that I see and that I know about, we're very well supported in the community.
Well, that's the thing I've seen in all the years I've been associated with the football program, is no matter if we're 0-10 or 10-0, you're going to see a full crowd here. And
that's what I've been told since I've been here. So, you know, we're trying to work to get away from that 0-10 look, but we're trying to get our kids to compete and play hard, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, buy a ticket, they come to support, they do all these things, and like we've talked about, so we want to at least give them a show where we got kids out there playing hard and being competitive and getting after it as best we can. And hopefully we're on top of the scoreboard at the end. But as long as we're playing hard, our community will appreciate it.
Well, I know they do, and when they see the effort these boys put out, you know, a lot of times, of course, from the press box, I get a little better view of how things go on sometimes, and not everybody can see what happens, and so it makes a difference.
It does. You know, we are fortunate to the new technology and things that we've got replay, and we've got all that on the sideline, but, you know, having eyes up top has always been the best view. So, you know, I haven't had anything since I've been here. Everybody's been very supportive and encouraging, and we just hope to build on what we were able to do last year and just continue to get better. But the community's been great.
Well, when you see a facilities like we have, as we talked about, that draws other people maybe that might want to move here and say, hey, I like their facilities, I want to play there.
Yeah, you know, that's it. In today's football, the term recruiting gets thrown around a lot, you know, and I really think the best recruiting tool is for your program to do things the right way, and it be something that kids want to be a part of. That's the best way, you know, whether that's winning state championships or the facilities or whatever it is. You know, we're just trying to have a program that people want to be a part of. You know, it's been since 2016, but since it's been a real threat at a state championship. So we're working towards that. You know, we got the facilities, got all the tools and things like that. We just got to continue to work hard and improve discipline and things like that. And hopefully, you know, we'll start getting some people that want to play for Sequatchie County High School.
Well, that's the key, is the want to. And I know in times past I've seen some big old boys walk the halls that didn't want to play ball at all. They just weren't interested. And I'm thinking, man, you could be a good lineman, you know.
That's it. I mean, football's hard. Football's I guess I had a coach that always put it, you know, football's a special game for special people, and that's true. We've all seen people, big kids that just didn't really have that desire, didn't really have that mentality, or the fastest kids. You know, it takes a certain mentality to play this game, and you got to find the ones that'll play at 100 miles an hour, going as hard as they can, and that's all the time, wherever they're in the weight room, on the field, in the classroom, wherever it is. So, you know, there's a lot of intangibles that you got to have in this game to be successful. So we're trying to develop those with our kids, but they work really hard.
Well, and talking about the working hard, football teaches a lot of discipline.
It does. It does. You know, we as coaches, we battle it every day. Obviously, with school year just starting, it hasn't been that, but it's been a battle every day trying to get the kids to take their grades seriously, get the classroom work done, their behavior in the school, all those things. You know, after the season was over last year, a lot of people think, oh, well, it's done. Well, no, then the discipline of being at workouts after school and showing up and giving your best effort and working, because, you know, we were all teenagers. When you're working in January and you don't get to play until August, this seems like, you know, is that really needed? But the discipline to show up every day and to do what is needed to be able to be on the field. And now, you know, the time is here, getting closer. But the discipline, it just never stops. It's got to be all the time.
Well, there's a lot of people don't realize you can't just step out on the field and start playing. There's a lot of strength and conditioning goes into that long before, like you said, in January.
Yeah. There are those people that can step out there, but they also play on Saturday and Sunday. You know, the God-given ability. But, you know, the majority of your high school players, they have to work. They have to get after it. They have to get bigger, stronger, faster, and, you know, and then go home and do their homework and help their parents do whatever. And some of them work on the weekend. So it is truly a grind, and they have to love it, and they have to be bought in to doing things the right way to be successful. So it is I know everybody coaches a sport feels that way about their sport, but it's a different game. It's year round. You know, a lot of sports are not year-round sports in high school, but football, if you want to be competitive and you can't ever stop. You got to go. As soon as the season's over, you start working for the next one. So
right, because there's a lot. Football, as most people know, is a physical game. So if you want to keep that strength, you can't lay off the weights during the off season and then pick it back up in the fall.
No, you can't. I mean, you look at whether you're looking at the opponents getting bigger and stronger and you're not, or you're not building your body up to be more what's the word I'm looking for, to be able to handle all the physicality that you're going to face and to be able to take all the bumps and bruises and heal and come back. You really can't afford to take off for 6 months and then come back and try to start up again. So
no, it leads to a lot of injury.
It does. A lot of bumps and bruises and pulls and strains and all kinds of things. Hopefully we can limit the major injuries, but it's a lot of just nagging things that just takes time to get over. So it is and I think our kids have really handled that well. You know, trying to change their view of things and to kind of show them to be at the top. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. So, you know, I'm pleased with the way our kids have handled it. So we just got to translate it from in here to the field, and we'll see what happens.
Right, because I know in the past a lot of times the players, sometimes they get all these ill feelings with coaches that get mad and everything. And I know you've tried to develop a program where everybody's can sit down and talk. You're more of a friendship. I mean, you're still the coach, and you still have to run them hard, but you're still you're a friend as well. Yeah,
you know, the key to coaching, in my opinion, is making sure that you can get the kids to play hard. That's the bottom line. They've got to play hard, and I think you got to kind of wear a bunch of different hats. I mean, some of them you can get on and scream and yell, but some of them you got to sit down and talk and reason with them. You know, early in my coaching career, I was probably a lot more of that screaming and yelling, and but it didn't take long to realize that some kids don't respond to that. So, you know, I try to adjust my style, I guess you would say, to fit the kid and what's going to get the best response out of him. And, you know, it is different sitting in the head coach seat than the assistant coach. It's a lot harder to make knee-jerk reactions now. You got to see the whole kid, and you have a little more information about things that are going on, and so I kind of see things a little different than I did as an assistant, and I try to handle each situation based on the need there. You know, as a football coach, we don't like to admit that there's things bigger than football, but there are, and our kids are dealing with a lot of things these days. So, I try to handle it the best I can, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, but I can't just scream and yell all the time.
Right.
That's just not my style. So I want to fit it to my style and our kids, and that just seems to be what works best for me right now.
Well, you have a lot of students, as you mentioned. They may have some stuff going on there, and they're private, and they won't tell anybody what's going on, and they may be really dealing with a lot. And then if you were to get on to them for not doing something, and then that might just set them off, and you don't know why they got set off, and
And that's another reason why that relationship is important. Kids got to be comfortable to come to you when they have something that's going on or something that's bothering them, and make you aware of it so you can help them. I feel like our kids are very comfortable with our coaching staff as a whole, and if there's something bothering them, something going on, if they don't want to tell me, I have assistants that they'll tell, so we can kind of try to figure out how to help them. And that's just part of the relationship. It's not like it used to be where you do it because coach said so. It's, they want to know that you care about them more than what they can do on the football field. So, and I understand that. I understand wanting to feel that way. So I just try to keep in mind, we don't know what each kid's dealt with last night when he went home or how it was this morning before he got to school. So we want it to be a safe environment when they're here, that they can kind of escape from any problems that they have and just focus on football. And they can't do that if you're just constantly screaming and yelling and telling them what they're doing wrong. So we try to do it in the right way, or what I think is the right way of make sure they know we love them, but holding them accountable at the same time. So it's you learn every day. You adjust every day.
Well, the key to any sports is having fun. If they're not having fun, then they're not enjoying their sport. And then you teach them technique as time goes and as it permits. And then by doing the having fun and teaching technique, then the winning will come.
Oh yeah, and you said it. I mean, we can't get these kids to do everything that we need to do to be successful if they don't enjoy it. And there are kids, we're not any different than other programs. There are kids that decided it's not for them, and they don't want to play, or they want to do something else, and I respect that. I want people here that want to be here. I don't want kids here just because mama wants them here. I want them to want to be here and want to be a part of it. So if something, we're the same. We're human. If it's not fun, we don't want to do it. Right. So kids are the same way. So we try to make it as fun as we can and get as much work out of it as we can. And we mess up. We have good days. We have bad days. But we just got to keep working to keeping the kids in mind and them being first. And as coach, I really want to win all the time. But the kids have got to be the focus.
Well, I know last year you had some close games that you really just lost by a margin. I mean, you were in the game the whole game. It wasn't like you got slaughtered or anything.
Yeah, last year was a weird year. We came in, did a new offense, new defense, and doing things that our kids haven't ever done, offensively especially, and we were playing okay at the beginning of the year and getting better, and we had a couple of injuries, but kids never, I never felt like when I watched the film on the weekend that we weren't playing hard. We played hard. We might not have done things the right way, but the kids' heart was always in it and always giving their all. And at the end of the day, that's all I can ask them to do, and we got to do a better job of coaching them to get them in the right spot and to do those things. So. Last year it was a lot of fun. It was a year I'll always remember as my first as a head coach. But I'm gonna miss that group of seniors. They did a lot for this program and for me when I got here, and I'm gonna miss them. And I appreciate what they did. But hopefully we move on and grow in year two, and we'll see what happens.
Well, last year's team, you had a lot of guys that they weren't big, but they could really put out some performance.
Yeah, we you said it, we weren't very big. We lost a couple of linemen out of last year's class, but it was a lot of skill. And, that's how we'll be this year. We've got some depth coming back on the offensive and defensive line, but it's going to be a lot of young players everywhere else. So we got to figure out how to put it together. And, as coaches, we don't have the same kids. We have different kids. So how can we put them in a position to be successful? And, again, they've done everything we've asked them to since November of last year. They've worked out. They've been in the weight room. They're not missing. It doesn't matter what you ask. They do it to the best of their ability. So, hopefully we can grow on it and get better throughout the year and sneak into the playoffs and see what happens.
Well, good. Was there anything else we haven't talked about you'd like to mention other than these pesky flies?
I don't know if it's something to mention or not, but my family is, like I mentioned, we've moved around and we've been all over. So my wife, Lauren, and kids have really enjoyed being in Dunlap, and we do appreciate all of the support we get from the community. So I appreciate that, and thank you, community, for all you do.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And again, folks, you can see this program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's cable channel 18. And remember our sponsors, Embers Ice Cream, Nickel Roll Antique, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast, all of Pikeville. And until next time, have a great day.